I will always, I'm sorry, but hold a higher standard for women supporting women than I will for men supporting women, because I just don't expect it from men in the same way I expect it from women.
Period.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sisterhood Tea Party Podcast. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Stephanie. Today, we're so excited to have you tuning in, especially as we dive into a topic that's super close to our hearts.
Yes, today we are celebrating International Women's Day. We'll be talking about women who inspire us, sharing stories from our community, and of course, playing our favorite game, What's the Ick?
Plus, our March giveaway is officially live, and we'll be sharing how you can enter later in the show.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the heart of today's episode, International Women's Day. For me, this day is so powerful because it's a global celebration of the strength, resilience, and accomplishments of women everywhere. But what about you, Steph? What does International Women's Day mean to you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think International Women's Day is a reminder that we've come so far, but also that there's a lot of work to be done. I feel like it's about celebrating achievements, but also fighting for the equality and ensuring that we're making progress for our future generations. In addition to that, it's also about recognizing, again, how far we've come, but also pushing for even more representation and rights for women.
Yes, I love that. It's definitely about celebrating the wins and continuing the fight, especially now. When I think about this day, I also think about the history of it, how it started as a day to rally for women's rights in the early 1900s, and how now it's evolved into a movement that includes everything from gender equality to women's health and economic empowerment.
Yes, absolutely. International Women's Day isn't just about what's been done, but what's happening right now. So again, think about the Me Too movement, or even conversations about equal pay have picked up in recent years, and healthcare and all of these other things. You know, these are just modern movements that are all part of the same journey that we as women have been on for decades.
Exactly. And it's really inspiring to see how things have shifted over time. And so that brings us to the women who inspire us personally. So Stephanie, I know you have some strong women in your family that have had a huge impact on you. Tell us about them.
Yes. So when I think about inspiring women, the first two women that come to mind are my mom and my sister. So my mom, she has been my absolute rock. Oh gosh, I love her so much. She is truly one of the strongest people that I know. And, you know, with her faith, her super strong faith in God, and her work ethic is incredible. You know, it's really had such an influence on me to, you know, follow her footsteps. Growing up, you know, she sacrificed a lot for us to make sure we had everything that we need. And in that, on all of that chaos, you know, she still found time to show up for us emotionally. She taught me and the rest of my siblings that you can be strong, vulnerable, and nurturing all at once. She's coming from Nigeria and learning an entirely new culture and way of life. If I could be half the woman as she is, then like I feel like I've made it, you know. In addition to that, my sister, and you know, a lot of y'all that are listening know my sister. She's strong, she loves fiercely, and she truly never gives up, even when things are incredibly challenging. I love her dearly, and I'm incredibly proud of her. You know, her resilience is truly what pushes me to be better every single day and to just keep going after what I want and what I deserve.
I love this episode so much already. I feel like it's so powerful. Like, I feel like the women in your life have really shaped who you are. I see that in you. I see that with your family, and just how you balance all these different aspects of your life so well. It's clearly an attribution to the women in your life, especially your mom and your sister. I love it. So for me, I feel like it's also the women around me who inspire me, especially in my professional life. So I've been fortunate enough to work with some really incredible women, and they've been such great mentors and role models to me throughout, whether it's from college, even high school, honestly, all the way up through my current life. I feel like it's just always been like that. Like, when I think about the teachers who supported me, whose words really helped me as a child, as someone who was trying to find myself in the world when I was in college and grad school, it was the words of the female mentors that resonate with me the most, and who I still speak with today. And when I think about to my first years working in corporate America, it was the women who mentored me at the beginning, who collaborated with me, and who I ultimately trusted to have my back and for me to have theirs as we built incredible things together. You know, when I changed my career path from research to product management, it was a female colleague who told me, you would make a great PM. And that I will like never forget that conversation, because it was really the push I needed to make the change and have the courage to do that. And I wasn't getting that from, you know, my male colleagues. It was a woman who did that. And even more recently, it was a woman, a friend and colleague of mine, who encouraged me to write my book that I've now been working on. And I think that like without her push and her inspiring me with what she was doing, like I don't know that I would have done that. And so I just feel like all in all, some of my biggest inspirations in life and the people who have had the greatest impacts on my life and my career have always been women. And, you know, while I spoke a lot about my career, I will say like this remains true in my personal life as well.
Yeah, that is incredible. It's been amazing to watch your journey. We've been friends for over a decade, and
Yeah.
seeing the way that we started in college and seeing you now in this space, I'm in awe of you, Jess. And I don't think I tell you that enough, but I truly am in awe of you. And I'm so proud of everything that you've accomplished and what you will continue to accomplish. And I'm not going to cry, so I'm just going to keep it pushing here. But I truly am proud of you. And it's just incredible to watch. Um, Kind of along
I
those
appreciate
lines
that.
about talking, of course, talking about, colleagues and people that have, inspired us too. One of my biggest inspirations, in my professional life was a colleague that I met earlier in my career. So just some background about her. She was an incredible force in the business world. And when I started at this company, she was really pushing hard for DEI initiatives. And I remember she just everybody wanted to go to her. Everybody wanted to know more about her. Any problem, issue, concern, people would go to her first before even going to some of their managers. So like she was just an incredible person. The biggest thing though that stood out to me was how much she actually cared about lifting other women up specifically.
Mm.
It wasn't just about her own success. So as an example, I had applied for a job. It was an internal posting to work under her. And I got a phone call from her like the next day. She was like, "Well, we can't offer you this position." She's like, "I still want to meet with you because I want to give you encouragement areas of opportunity to continue to grow and learn so you can, you know, take that into your next step of your career." And I was like, wow, someone actually cares enough to give me feedback about my interview, but also these are ways that you can, stand out next time in another space. She did care in the sense of like her own success, but she also made her mission to ensure other women had a seat at the table too. And I feel like that is the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. That is what I want. That's what I strive for in my career as I'm growing and as I get into these higher level roles. I want to be able to be that person to somebody else too. Someone who is not just focused on their own growth, but is truly intentional about helping others grow too.
Yes, it is so important. And I feel like I actually remember you telling me about this years ago when this happened. And I love that that was as now a legacy that you're passing on as well. I think like when women support each other, we can really create lasting change. And it reminds me of how we always say that lifting each other up doesn't take away from our own success. We can all thrive and we should all thrive.
Whether it's in our personal lives, our families, or careers, the women who have come before us and those around us are now paving the way for the future. So I think that we need to keep that mindset of progress and positivity. So we have to make it a priority to lift each other up as we move forward.
I love that. As we're thinking about all these inspiring women in our lives, let's shift gears and hear more from our community. So we asked our listeners which women have inspired them, and we got some really beautiful responses to share.
We really did. We asked y'all on social media to tell us about the women who inspire you, and honestly, we were blown away by the responses.
Yes, so many of you mentioned your moms, your sisters, friends, mentors. So let's read a few.
Yes, one of my close friends said that her daughter is the toughest person that she knows, and she is her little lioness. And it literally gave me chills. I'm like, oh, I totally agree with that. And another friend of mine told me that I am the one that inspires them. And I said, girl, do not make me cry on this app today. I read that message. But I have to say it means more to me than she'll ever know, just seeing that, because I, sit with myself sometimes. I'm like, am I really making an impact? Do I really inspire people? And she is one of the friends that reminds me constantly that I do. She was like, one of the major things you do, you teach spin classes. You've reached hundreds of people over the last several years, and you're up on that bike being authentically yourself. And it's incredibly inspiring. And I'm like, okay, like I get it. But that really did mean a lot to me.
As another one of your friends, I will just say you inspire me as well. You inspire, I think, everyone around you. So don't be surprised by that. But I love that she reminds you that all the time. That's really sweet. Another thing we heard from one of our listeners was, my boss is a huge inspiration to me. She's a leader who cares about our team and pushes us to grow every day. And I really feel like that's what being a strong woman is all about. I mean, you talked about your mentors. I talked about my mentors. Like, having that strong leader is so, it just like makes the difference, really.
It really does. I think that just it makes it easier to be in a space where you feel supported and you feel seen and you feel that you can, have a seat at the table, like I mentioned earlier. Another listener had mentioned their mom, and they said that their mom is the biggest inspiration to them. They also mentioned that she means more to them than she'll ever know, and that they are grateful for her support over the years. So that is incredibly sweet. Now, do you want to also share a woman that inspires you?
Yes, I think that for me, honestly, one of the biggest inspirations are my mom friends who are breaking generational trauma. Like, there's a lot of them, but I specifically want to call out Carlin, who has been on the show with us early on. Also, my friend Nicole. And there's so many more but like particularly those two, I see how they parent so intentionally. And I think it is one of the most beautiful things I've been able to witness as an adult, because it has helped me personally heal, helped me to feel hope about our future generations, raising kids in a way that I wish I had been raised, and I know they wish they had been raised, and others wish they had been raised. And this is the stuff that gets me emotional. I really feel like it is the most beautiful thing, and I'm just really honored to witness that they inspire me. And this is coming from someone who does not want kids, who is child free by choice. But I think it's really important to recognize them because it's incredibly inspirational.
I would 100% agree with that. It's been a beautiful thing to watch our mom friends parent the way that they do and know that they are raising some of the most incredible little human beings out there. It makes me, like you had said, it does make me hopeful. So it is also important to highlight the everyday women making big impacts in their own ways. Speaking of impact, we've had some serious discussions, but all very fruitful and very important. But we're going to transition now into a little fun. So we're going to play What's the Ick?
So you guys know how it goes. Each of us shares something that just gives us the ick. So, yeah.
Yep. We're going to get right into it. Jess, you kick us off first.
Staying on theme with today's episode, women who don't support women, right? Like, yes. I'm not trying to be negative, but like this whole episode has been about how important it is to celebrate, inspire, like lift each other up. And when women don't do that, like for me, it's like a slap in the face. I'm like, if you were a man, I would expect that, but you're a woman. Like, why are you stomping me down? You are me and I am you. And why are we? And it irks me so bad. I will always, I'm sorry, but hold a higher standard for women supporting women than I will for men supporting women, because I just don't expect it from men in the same way I expect it from women.
Period. I 100% agree. Along those same lines, my ick is pick me energy from women. Okay. Here's the thing. We have so much against us lately. The last thing we need is a woman who is trying to like appease the other side, appease the men, being like, oh, well, I don't actually think like that. Or, oh, I'm different from other women. Like, this is the real man. Girl, please. Like, I need you to like calm down for a second and realize that like your fellow women, we need each other more than ever now. And we don't have the energy. I don't have time for pick-me's. I don't have time for women who go out of their way to try and stand out so that they can be seen. Like, what is that doing for you?
Be seen by men, right?
Yeah,
like,
be seen by men.
Like,
correct.
Like, live your main character energy life.
100%. I'm talking about women who are going out of their way to appease a man, to be picked essentially by a man, to have them think like, oh yeah, I'm one of y'all, like I get it. No, like no. Women, we have to stick together, and we don't have the energy or space for pick me energy, okay? Absolutely live your main character life within reason, okay? And within reason meaning you're not doing it for a man, okay? You're doing it for you.
Yeah. Yes. Carrie Underwood.
Ooh, they should have pulled the plug on her. They should have pulled that plug and not had her sing the rest of it. I'm just saying. She's not even anyway. Not nope. Nope. We're not gonna do it. we gotta keep it. We gotta lock it in.
Roll it back. Okay, well, before we close, we have an exciting announcement. Our March giveaway is officially happening.
So, in celebration of International Women's Day, we're hosting our March giveaway, and it starts right now.
Yep, and it's going to run until March 16th, and we'll announce the winner on March 17th on our social media platforms. So this time we're giving away a limited edition 30-ounce Stanley Cup. Cute. And Mel Robbins' new book, The Let Them Theory. If you haven't heard of it, it teaches you how to stop wasting energy on what you can't control, start focusing on what truly matters, which is you, your happiness, your goals, and your life. I will say I've already started it, and it's really, really good. So I'm really excited for this.
Yes, and I've already ordered it, and we'll begin reading it. So, to enter, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms and follow the steps in our giveaway post.
We're so excited to celebrate one lucky winner, but before we close, let's leave you with our last drop of tea for the day.
Yes, so let's remember the power of women supporting women, whether it's through the stories that we shared today or the actions that we take every day. Lifting each other up is how we make lasting change.
Could not agree more. As we head into March, let's carry the spirit of International Women's Day with us, celebrating not just one day, but all year long.
Yes. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of the Sisterhood Tea Party. Don't forget to enter our giveaway, follow us on social media, and share this episode with your friends.
We'll catch you next time with another amazing episode. Until then, take care. Happy International Women's Day to all the amazing women out there.
Bye, y'all.